Well, I apologize. I haven't been able to record too much stuff because after getting this place, it's been rather crazy and just kind of a mad dash to kind of get things sorted here. But I feel like I'm just barely getting my head above water here. So this weekend, I'm working on just finishing up battening down the hatches. You know, trying to seal up drafts, make sure the heaters are working, that kind of stuff without like spending a ton of money. So this was a big issue here. The bulkhead is rotted. It has a bunch of holes in it. I tried to seal up as much as I could because it was flooding before, and it rotted out the bottom of the door. And there's a bunch of plumbing right here, like right inside the door. So yeah, I sealed up that stuff the best I could. There's still a little drip, but a little drip isn't gonna, you know, ruin things. But I put in 2 brand new pressure treated plates with Quad Max underneath because it's like watertight seal. And then got some of this weather stripping at Home Depot. Nice squishy stuff. Tack that on. Caulked in everything from the outside. Sealing it, foam, caulking. 2 coats of exterior paint on that and the door to prevent any further rotting. And then I put a wrought iron handle here at the top of the door because the door is actually twisted. So when you close it, you can see it makes contact down bottom, but up top, you have a lot more to go to get it to lock. So basically there was a lock on the metal bulkhead, which I clipped off with a grinder because there's 3 ways down here. You can get down through the 2-bedroom, and you can get down to the basement from 3-bedroom stairs. But the 1-bedroom has no way down here except for the bulkhead. So I needed to make a way, you know, I clipped that lock off on the outside so they couldn't lock me out, but a way that we could get in and out so that we can use laundry, I can do maintenance, whatever. So I put on this deadbolt, so it's a key from the outside to get in. And if there was ever a fire, you know, you don't need a key, just unlock it and you can get out. So this is still a second egress. But yeah, there was some kind of like insulation. I don't know what they did on the back of this door, but you can see the weather stripping does a really good job, but it doesn't get all of it. So basically, yeah, I was looking at some foam boards, you know, from Home Depot, you know, that pink rigid foam, and there's some other stuff. It's quite expensive. It's like 50 bucks a sheet, but it's rigid. So, and I was also thinking about like this duct seal, duct wrap, you know, so I could kind of overhang the door a little bit to kind of block off any drafts coming through here. So if I did a rigid board, obviously that's not going to work. But this stuff, I don't know that this is the best R value in the world. So I had a bright idea. I had a bunch of this stuff left over, soundproofing, for my old little studio that I used to have. And this is good, just like insulation as well. You can feel, you stick your arm in there, like it starts getting hot quick. So this does have a good insulating value. I could even put that stuff and then this stuff over it, but I think for now I have a bunch of this that I'm not using anyway, and it's squishy and pliable, so I can staple this to the back of the door, overhang the door on every single side, so we get a nice airtight seal, and we have some sort of, you know, insulation on the back of the door. So other than the winterproofing, I asked the previous owner, I asked her straight up, does the 3-bedroom boiler work? Because it did look like somebody was here doing something. And she kind of paused and was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, it doesn't work. She lied. So I know the 2-bedroom boiler works. I know my heat works. So I started messing around with this 3-bedroom one. It was actively leaking from this air vent, this air vent. These boiler drains were in terrible condition. They would, like, if I cracked them open, they would have been leaking. So replaced the 3 boiler drains up here. I replaced the main boiler drain at the bottom there. And then there was a bleeder 90 over here that was also leaking on the floor. So I sweat a new one in there. And then I filled up the system, bled out all the air, flipped on the switch, jumped out the thermostat, and nothing. Won't kick on. So this thing is not getting power, or that control's bad. So that's what I need to figure out right now. So I did a bit of messing around here with the boiler. So first off, there was a red switch at the top of the stairs. You know, those safety switches or whatever. That was off. But also, there's a little, see this box right here at the bottom of the stairs. If you pull this off, this is where the main line from the breaker goes to the boiler, and then they branched off the bottom here and ran that little red switch after the fact. And it was a little hack job there. So that's where my power issue was. So once I got that sorted, power came on, and I tried to fire this thing several times. It wouldn't even attempt to fire. So I thought it could be one of two things. It could be this Aquastat, but I put their thermostat to 90, and as soon as I flipped the switch, this little relay was clicking. So I mean, it was calling, so that was a good sign. But it still wasn't firing. I was getting a blinking light right here. It was just blinking. It says it was in lockout mode. So I pushed this button, held it down for 45 seconds until the light blinked. It reset the system. And she's purring. Purring like a kitten. Good to go. Last little job here. This isn't looking too healthy here. This cement is all, look at that. There's a big crack right here. So I got some Rutland 2000 degrees refractory cement. Hot off the press. Yeah. I'm gonna pick all this and put a nice fresh coat on there. Make it beautiful again. Yikes! There's a gaping hole there, dude. I don't know if cement's gonna be enough. I might have to go find some little swedges to stick in there. I really don't want any carbon monoxide issues. You know what I mean? I think I got some bricks around here somewhere. Let me go find some bricks. Couple of swedges installed professionally. And now we're gonna mutter up. Yeah. Look at that. Like a dang professional. All the little cracks sealed up. I don't have to worry about any carbon monoxide. Joints taped up. I know you don't really need to do that, but you know, better safe than sorry, I guess. That should do. Mucho better. Yeah. Look at that. Quite fancy. See that? Overhangs the door a bit. Got our little turkey gizzards going on here. I mean, I stapled the crap out of anything that was near where hands are gonna go, or near the edge where this might get hit. Like I put a ton of staples. In the middle, not so much, but just like these areas. Then when we close this, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I would say that's gonna do it. Alright, so we're finishing up here, getting ready for this winter. I got put a threshold there. I had some oak left over, and this door, whenever the windows are open, I mean, this door is heavy and it like just slams and it shakes the whole house. So I put one of those little things on it so I don't get woken up in the middle of the night when this thing, yeah. But we got some more weather stripping, and this is the only other issue. I'm thinking I think there's a power box up there. Thinking about trying to tap into that little box up there and run a plug, and then maybe put I don't know, one of those oil filled electric heaters. I don't know, something, so that when it gets really, really cold outside, that at least there's something keeping that warm. It's a later kind of job. But we were, so another thing I wanted to get done here is this concrete was black. It was really bad. So I've been wanting to pressure wash. I started over here, and I was gonna borrow my boss's pressure washer, but they were having a sale at Tractor Supply. So I figure just grab my own. It's 3,100 PSI. It was like 250 bucks. Not bad. So I'm gonna, yeah, take some of this Clorox, because this stuff is really, it's struggling to come off. So I'm gonna soak some of this really bad area in bleach, let it soak for a little while, and then finish pressure washing the fence, the shed. Just work my way around the yard. Maybe I might do a few isolated spots on the house where I see a little bit of mold going. This thing's kind of nice that it has the soap thing is like kind of separate here. It's just a hose and you can just run it into a bottle. It's not like a bin that's on the machine that if you don't use it, you got to dump it all out. This is just right in the bottle. Fire it up and you're good to go. Thing starts on the first pull every time. Thing's pretty sweet for 250 bucks, man. I don't think you can beat that. Yeah, look at that. Got the shed pressure washed. All that pressure washed. And I looked on the other side of that fence. On the other side of this fence is completely overgrown. You can't see the fence. On overside that fence, it's all overgrown. You can't see the fence. But on this side, if you go on the other side, the neighbor's fence is like nice and white and clean. And then the back of this fence, which I guess is mine, was horrendous looking, like completely black. So I think it was like, I guess, proper etiquette to go over there and pressure wash that side as well. So I did. Got all that done. Yeah, it looks a lot better. A little bit more wood. I'm gonna burn that in the fire in a minute. All right, the last project here, and hopefully we're good. So I went to the depot and I found this stuff, double reflective insulation wrap that they usually use for like ductwork. And I got some Armaflex. Just kind of wrap it around the pipes. I mean, there's some insulation on the pipes already, but you can't really get like around the valves in the 90s, so I might try to cut it, clean it up, and wrap the 90s and stuff. But they did have a insulation blanket that's actual insulation at Home Depot. But you can see the water heater is like really, really tight to the wall there, so I don't know, it might even be touching. So it's gonna be kind of tough to kind of get that in there. So I'm thinking, and I've seen other people do this stuff as well. Hopefully I can sneak this in behind the wall. And then I'm just gonna use some aluminum foil tape to kind of bandage it up. And it's an electric, so I don't have to worry about the vent pipe at the top getting hot and like melting all of this stuff. So I'm gonna wrap the entire thing, try to do the top the best I can. Yeah, and I don't know, hopefully that's enough. I really don't want to be putting a heater over here because I think that could be a fire hazard. I don't know. Boom. Look at that. So this roll was 4 feet tall by 20 feet long. And 4 feet was exactly enough to get to right to the top of the water heater, to the bottom. So just one wrap around, just cut around that little thing. And then I just kind of put a blanket right over the top. I was able to just barely sneak it past the wall there. The other insulation definitely wouldn't have worked. And then I used the pipe insulation to kind of make sure all the pipes are covered, except for that thing. That's just a blow off tube. That's an emergency. There's no water in that pipe, so yeah. Hopefully this will do the trick. I hope. I would love to put a water heater pan under this and then run a drain outside or wherever that pipe's going. We could probably just hook onto that cover pipe that probably goes outside. I'll have to find where that goes, because then we could just run, you know, the water heater blow off into the pan, and then that would be the pan line out. So I'm trying to finish sealing up these basement windows here. So if I take the light away, you can see there's a little bit of daylight coming in through the top there. So there's the old window. You can see like the sides are kind of rotted. Like obviously I do want to replace the window eventually, but not right now. So you know, the plywood is sealed. I caulked the sides, the bottom. I couldn't get to the top because it's underneath the siding. But I want to insulate this and seal it up so we don't have no drafts coming through. So I mean, I put this dryer vent out and I foamed around it, but I want to insulate this window. And the glass is, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave the window frame, because that'll kind of help hold insulation. I'm gonna smash the glass out so that I can actually get to that crack at the top, seal it with foam, stuff insulation in there, and then staple some of this reflective stuff over it just to clean it up, make it look nice, and just, yeah, that'll do. That'll do for now. Maybe we'll take the vacuum and clean this off too, make it look pretty. As pretty as can be, I guess. It'll be better than what was here. Then I got 2 more windows down here I gotta address. All right, we got the glass out. I put a couple of screws, because this was loose, up into the timber there, just to kind of hold it in. Foamed everything, you know, so I'm not seeing any more daylight. All right, well, the other window is drying. I figure I'll come take a look at this one behind my storage rack here. So it looks like they had a black plastic trash bag with 2 bricks on it. Pull up. Yeah, look at that. Oh wow. Wow, this bag has been there for so long that it's actually deteriorating. That's crazy. All right, beauty. Window off. Foamed in the corners. Now I'm gonna stuff a little bit of insulation here, screw the window back in, and then put some of that Reflecto stuff over it, and that one should be good to go. Oh yeah. So we've got the wood outside that's caulked, foamed from the inside, then insulated, windows screwed back in place, and then this stapled over it. That ought to do it. Oh, dang it. Look at this. So there's 3 crawl spaces in this place. This one is not insulated. I would like to insulate that. And also, I mean, obviously the whole basement needs to be insulated, but I think at the very least, the outside perimeter, you know, right on the outside edge of the house. And they did do some of it here, you can see where the pipes are. Yeah, but they stopped right here for whatever reason. But now these windows are sealed up nice and proper. So I think I need to finish that insulation down. I'm gonna insulate that crawl space. I started out here already insulating this outer edge with some R38. Problem is these studs, or these floor joists, they're 16 inches from the inside to the inside, not center to center. So I had to get 24-inch insulation clips, and I gotta cut them down, but whatever. And for whatever reason in here they drywalled the ceiling. Odd, but yeah, that's insulated. I don't know if I'm gonna drop all this drywall and insulate that. I think that's a little bit too much for me right now. But anywhere that's wide open that I can get to, I might as well. Yep, that window's sealed up nice. This crawl space is mostly insulated. Just one bay over there needs to be fixed up a little. Otherwise good. Otherwise good. And then we come over here. Yeah, that window is all sealed up nice. Oh, look at that. Look at this crawl space. Oh, that's brand new. Wait a minute. I never noticed this. If I can get in here. Dude, look at that. So that foundation, so that's the sunroom in the front of the house. That's a brand new foundation. Brand new. So that was an addition onto the house. And you can see this one is insulated, and they put a plastic vapor barrier in there. Looks like it needs to be tacked back up a little bit, but yeah, there's plastic on the ground and plastic on the ceiling. Beautiful. So looks like I am just about there. I'm just gonna go grab some R38 or something. I think R38 would be the best. Might as well go all out. God, this stuff is expensive. R38. This was like $76. It's like 150 bucks for 2 of these. It better go far. Better go far. Let's see how far it goes. Well, I've been avoiding this job like the plague because this is gonna suck. I had to crawl up in here and get covered in dirt and spider webs. And you notice the floor joist. Yeah, they've got it like kind of jimmied up there. So I went and grabbed a 2x8. Gonna knock those little blocks out. Throw in a new 2x8. And then use some ledger locks or headlocks. These are super strong, you know, bolts, screws. Screw it all together and then try to insulate in there, which I was praying that I would have some help with that, have someone outside the hole passing me stuff in, but yeah, wishful thinking. Guess I'm doing this solo. Holy shit, that sucked. Look at me. I am soaked and absolutely covered in dirt. Oh god. With that, That makes me feel a lot better. I got the 2x8 in screwed up. Yeah, you can see it sticking out right there. And got all that insulated. That was extremely uncomfortable, laying down on your back on a bunch of rocks, trying to staple stuff up. Not good. And I think I really should have a layer of plastic over that, but I can do that another time. For now, I'd be just get this insulation in. I'm gonna go check the other crawl space here. I might need more insulation, unless there's enough laying in here. I don't think so. Dang it. Yeah. Oh, and it's even worse in there. Look at that. It's all bricks and jagged pieces of like whatever that I couldn't get out of there. Man, this had to have been one of the most god-awful things I've ever had to do in my life. Like that sucks. I don't know why somebody would just dump trash in a crawl space. I mean, it's all like shards of metal, glass, asbestos, bricks. Like unbelievable. That's insane. But you have to like lay on your back on this stuff. And yeah, I stuffed up the insulation. It's all covered in there. Good enough. I'm not going back in there. Hell no. I gotta get that place cleaned out first before I'm ever going back in there. But anyways, guys, hopefully I'm ready for the winter now. I pray nothing happens. And I've definitely been slacking in the YouTube department lately because I've been stressed out bad, like really bad. My stepbrother, he's here from Philadelphia, right? He was about to lose a limb. And I was like, okay, we do the same thing for a job. I can't imagine going to work in construction with a peg leg every day. So I figured I would reach out and give him an opportunity. I'm like, look, dude, I have a place. I'm not looking for a roommate. I don't want a roommate. But, I mean, technically he's not my stepbrother, but he's my stepbrother. But I'm like, look, your family, the opportunity's here if you want to come and, you know, second chance, second lease on life. And I'm like, this is all I have to offer. Unfortunately, it's a very small place. The heat and the air conditioning come from the kitchen, so we both have to sleep with our doors open. I already have a schedule, and you're gonna have to kind of fall in line, you know. And it's better than where you came from, correct? Oh yes, oh yes. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, dude. Do you mind? Do you mind, dude? Freaking cat. But yeah, always so grateful, right? And it's been too many disrespect to my face. I said, look, you're coming off the streets, you look like a homeless guy, you know, and it was very difficult for me to... Look at this. He doesn't care. The cat doesn't care either. But yeah, I mean, it was difficult. I mean, imagine opening your doors to somebody who may or may not have disease, has shit leaking out of their arms, a softball-sized hole in their foot that smells like rotting flesh, and you're just gonna share a shower and a kitchen with them and let them move into your house. That was a little tough for me to swallow, but I did it, you know, for him. And I'm like, look, dude, this is all I'm asking. You're gonna have to gain trust, build trust. We don't just get it, you know? So I don't want you wheeling, dealing, buying, selling, borrowing, going in tenants' houses. I don't want you asking for rides, bumming smokes. I want you to leave the tenants alone. The neighbors, I don't care, but the tenants, leave them alone. And he's like, okay. What does he do? Every single last one of those things. Went in their house, asked for rides, bummed smokes, tried to borrow something, then tried to buy two things, once right in front of my face, and he didn't even have a job yet. And he's trying to shake on it, make the deal. And I almost lost my mind. You know, but I was supposed to just, he's just not there yet. Maybe he just needs to get working, and then he'll calm down. And I'm like, So I'm supposed to just swallow that? Alright, well, let's see. We'll see what happens. Then he wants to build a fire pit out in the yard. I have a fire pit on the right side of the property. All green grass around it, no trees above it. But he's got to build a fire pit on the left side. There's 2 massive pine trees over it, next to the shed. 15 years worth of dried pine needles on the ground. I explained to him, one little spark jumps out of there. It's going up like napalm, and it's probably taking out the neighbor's house with it, along with the fence and the shed. Who's responsible for that? Me. Not you, so don't do it. Right, the next day he's building a fire pit out there. On the side I asked him not to. I run down and I reminded him, don't build a fire pit here. I don't want one here. And he says, well, I'm just mocking it up. I just want to see what it would look like. That's it. I'm like, okay, well, you're wasting your time. So, 10 minutes goes by, and I'm looking out the window, and he's got the kindling, the paper bags, and everything he's ready to light it. I went outside and lost my mind again. Second time, blatant disrespect in my own house. I also told him not to smoke pot on the property. I don't want that. There's a bunch of kids here. What happens? He leaves one of these glass vials for the pre-roll containers, and the 4-year-old kid from next door was about to find it. I saw the kid walking over towards the chair, ran over, grabbed whatever that was in the armrest. Oh, it's a glass vial. And I'm like, what is this? And he's like, well, it's empty, isn't it? I'm like, so what if it was a crack pipe? And it's empty. Is it still okay for a 4-year-old kid to find it and bring it over to their parents, the ones that don't drink, don't smoke, and they go to church on Sundays? It's still okay? Oh, I didn't think of it that way. Of course not, because you're not thinking. That's the problem. Several times it just left the gas stove on and just disappeared. Gas stove just running, AC cooling down, stove heating back up. He takes the cat outside. Me and the tenant are sitting there working on brakes on my truck, and he comes out with the cat, and he's like, look. And I'm like, oh great, you gonna let him out? You gotta watch him, because the cat's getting bigger now, and he's taking off towards the street. So as soon as you're not looking, he's gonna be gone, so you need to keep an eye on him. And he's like, okay. Not even a minute goes by, and the cat comes booking it around the corner towards the street. I pick up the cat, I put him inside, I come back down, I look in the backyard, and he's in La La Land. And I'm like, I wonder how long it's going to take him to notice that the cat's missing. I wonder. 5-6 minutes goes by, he comes around the corner looking puzzled. And I'm like, the cat's upstairs. Because you weren't watching him. And he's like, I was right there. I'm like, the cat was halfway down the street. Just zero responsibility. He just doesn't think. He doesn't think. And on top of this, he says he wants to go and help addicts. I'm like, isn't that step 12 in the 12-step program? Don't they teach you that relationships need to be put to the side for a minimum of 1 year? And that you need to do all 12 steps before you help people. Not step 1. But he wanted to go to Mass Ave in Boston and go to Philadelphia and help people. And it's like, do you really think you're not even 2 months into this, and you really think it's smart to subject yourself to that this early? The entire family said, no, don't do that. That's a bad idea. Do not go to Mass Ave. Do not go to Boston. What did he do? He went to Mass Ave until 3 o'clock in the morning, and then he came home, lied to my face, told me I'm going to work, and he went to Philadelphia. As soon as he left, I opened the back door and looked down, and his work boots were sitting there. Oops, you forgot your dang work boots. So I knew he was lying. So it's like disrespect, lie. And then when he was in Philadelphia, I said, dude, I can't handle much more. If you're coming back here, these are the rules, and if you don't like them, stay in Philadelphia. I don't want you to come back. I said, you're going to be home by 9 o'clock p.m. You're not going to be cooking after that. You're not going to be doing laundry after that. You're going to come home at 9 p.m. You're going to go in your room, and you're going to be fucking quiet. Period. And you're going to do your job, pay your rent, and don't cause any other problems at all. And he says, I agree to your terms. I'm like, great. Let's do this. You know, get after it. You need to get your grind in, man. Not even 4 days. Not even 4 days after he got back from Philadelphia, which he lied to the entire family, the ones that pulled together to help him. You know, his dad spent $600 for a plane, a private plane at that, to fly him from there and pretty much land in my backyard. It was great. Just pulled up to the plane, offloaded, and off we went. I didn't even have to go into Boston to pick him up. Sweet. But that was a $600 flight, and then every single person in the family did something for him to get him started. And yeah, he goes to Philadelphia, comes back. We're 4 days into this now. And now all of a sudden, his girlfriend, who was in rehab and left. And he said, well, that's God's will. And I'm like, she's not ready. It is what it is. You got to work on you, right? Relationships need to be put off for 1 year at least, minimum. And last night I get a text saying, hey, my girlfriend just came to Boston. You mind if she sleeps over the house? Hello? No! Like, I couldn't believe myself. I really couldn't believe barely working. He's only been working for a little while. He's still under the care of the family. You know, under the family's roof. He's not fully independent by himself. He can't fully take care of himself yet. And he's just gonna move his girlfriend over here? I'm like, okay, yeah, that's it. We're done. We're done. I was like, I can't worry. Like, I can't. Because she's coming fresh off the street. She doesn't have ID. She doesn't have insurance. She doesn't have any of this stuff. How is she going to get it? You had your entire family to get that stuff for you. How is she going to get it? She's going to rob, lie, and steal. There's no way I can allow her in this house at all. No way. So I said, dude, you know, I'm changing the locks. I'm changing the codes on the door. And, you know, I wanted to just end this today, but I was told I need to give you notice. So you have until Friday. There's your notice. You have 4 days. And if you're staying here, you're going to be home by 9 o'clock. Otherwise, I'm not letting you in the house. And then 5 a.m. when I leave, you leave. Because you're not staying here unsupervised. Period. Because I need to make sure that you're not letting that chick in my house. So she can steal my crap or the tenant's crap? No. I don't understand. And he like... And I'm the asshole? I'm the asshole? Got it. Yeah. But yeah, hopefully this arrangement will be over soon. I can have my life back and get back to what I was doing as I was. You know what I mean? See you later.